Imagine having your own AI tools, whether for creating content, automating tasks, or creating your own AI agents. With just a few lines of code, you can tap into OpenAI's power. Because the reality, AI is the new trend and everyone is investing in. And if you feel that you're falling behind, then in this video, I'll show you how to create your own backend API with Node.js and OpenAI from scratch. We're going to set up an Express server and I'll show you how to obtain the OpenAI API keys the right way. Because trust me, there are key things that you don't want to overlook in this video. So now, let's start coding. Open Visual Studio Code and create your project folder. Next, open the terminal and use CD to move to your folder. Then initialize your Node.js project with the command npm init, which will generate a package.json file to manage our dependencies. Use the command npm install to install the necessary package. Express to create routes for sending and receiving data. .env to store your secret key. And Course to enable communication between your API and other application or website. But to use the modern syntax like they use in React and other frameworks, open the package.json file and below the main property, add a new line, type module. Additionally, to run your server with the npm start command, go to the script section and add a start property with the value no-index.js. Now create an index.js file, and inside this file, we're going to start defining our backend code. We need to import the necessary dependencies. Import Express, the config function from the .env, and Course, and then call the config function to load our environment variables from the .env file. But we need to create this file. So in your project folder, create a new file and name it .env and add a new variable named port with the value 8080. And this value is the commonly used as a default port for web application. Let's head back to the index.js file and initialize Express into a variable named add. Then define another variable with the port value and enable Course in your application using add.use. In simple word, the add.use tells Express to execute a function before processing the route. This is also known as the middleware. For example, we use the add.use express.json to tell the server to parse and process JSON data. But we need a route to test our server. Therefore, we're going to define a new route with the get method. You need to define a name for the route. I will name test, handling the request and response, and this route will respond with a simple message. And finally, use add.listen to start the server, and to indicate that the server is running, we're going to use a console log with a message. So to start the server, we just head back to the terminal and we're going to run the command npm start. But to test our new API backend, we can use the Thunder client extension that is in Visual Studio Code. And this tool allows you to simulate requests, the get, post, put, and delete, and view the API responses. So to install the Thunder client, go to the extension panel in Visual Studio Code, search for Thunder client and install it. Once installed, click in the lightning bolt in the icon in the sidebar to launch it. Click in the new request and call your test route to verify the server response. Now that we know that our server is working and we have a response, let's work in the integration with the AI. And for that, you will need your access key from OpenAI API. You need to go to OpenAI documentation, log in or create an account. Then you will be redirected to the documentation. Click on dashboard, API keys. But before you can generate any key, you will need to verify a phone number. And you can set your key if it is for personal use or for a service account, like a backend or a SaaS service. And you can set the key for different access level or for read-only access. I'm going to set it for personal use and use the default project. Then just copy your key and remember to keep it secure and don't share it with anybody. But before you can actually use the key, you will need to add a minimum credit of $5 to your account. Then install the ChatGPT API in your project with the command npm install OpenAI. Head back to the index file and import the OpenAI library, and we're going to initialize in a new variable to connect to the API. And make sure that this variable is after the config function, so to have access to the environment variables. And from OpenAI Quick Start Guide, copy the provided code snippet and integrate it into your test route. Make your route function asynchronous by adding the async before the request and response. And finally, we just need to return the AI response. We're going to use the completion choice message content that is provided in the quick start guide. Restart the server and let's head back to our Thunder client to test our update. Send the request again and you should have a response from the model. Let's head back and explore the OpenAI piece of code in detail. The first property, the model, defines the model we are interacting with. Depending on your usage level or limit, you will have access to different models. If this is your first time using it, I recommend that you start with the 4.0 mainnet. In future videos, I'll talk more about models and their access level. The message property, think of it as the memory of the AI model, and you need to pass all interaction directly into this array. Inside this array will be the message in an object format with the value role and content. The role defines who's speaking, if it's the user or the AI model. And the first message with the role of system is how we define the AI's behavior. It will be like the first prompt that you pass to ChatGPT to behave like a professional marketing, a professional coder, or something. In this case, if I change it and I tell it that it's a professional stand-up comedian and the right joke about programmers, in the user case, the content will be the prompt, the message, or instruction that we're asking in ChatGPT. I can just simply change the content and tell the AI to tell me a joke. Then in your terminal, restart your server and head back to Thunder client and just send the request again. But hold on, we're not done yet. Right now, our API is working, but something is missing. We need to build a new route to handle the user message, create a front-end interface to make it feel like it's a ChatGPT-like ad. And that's exactly what we're going to tackle in the next video. So if you want a fully functional chatbot, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on social media, and I'll see you in the next video.